This begins a video for test section 120302. We are beyond the end of the GPS test section, and right here we are going to have the slurry seal applied for the sharp test section. We've already done the drilling on this, and we had an asphalt thickness of right around 2.5 inches and a lime rock base thickness of 9 inches. What's interesting is that in the first test sections, as I've probably mentioned before, we had asphalt concrete thicknesses which tended to be 2 3/4 to a little bit higher. And as we got down in this direction, they tended to be more like 2.5 inches. We won't be able to drill the remainder of the holes at this time because the maintenance crew has to be on emergency standby due to the hurricane. But we'll go ahead and continue doing the filming and complete the distress surveys for all of these test sections. I believe we have 3 left to go, or just several left to go. And come back and pick up the cores and the augured samples later on. Moving along, we had the most cracking in this test section that I've noted up to this point. It's approximately 400 linear feet of longitudinal cracking, and most of that is in the inside wheel path. And we don't have any traffic control right now, so I'm not going to, well, we have Ron who's waving them over, but I'm not going to try to step out in there to show it. These cracks are less than 1/4 inch wide and are low severity. There's no movement associated with them, no pumping or anything else, but they do exist, and they are throughout the test section. We don't have any transverse cracks which cross the lane. We have one small one which goes about 2 feet in length. Actually, we've got several that are like that. Rutting on this section, the maximum that was measured was around 4/10 to 1/2 inch at the beginning of the test section, and after that it was typically around 3/10 inch to 4/10 inch, averaging around 3/500ths in the outside length. Again, this section will be receiving the slurry seal coat treatment. This is downstream, immediately downstream of GPS test section 129054, which will also serve as the control for the SPS3 site. In other words, we're going to hold any maintenance that would be done there unless it's emergency. Just to show some of the longitudinal cracking in the inside wheel path. Okay, right over here, to the naked eye, the longitudinal cracking in the inside wheel path shows up quite well. May be able to pick it up, I believe so, here on the video. It's not continuous throughout the entire length of this test section, but it does take the majority of it, and there are instances of longitudinal cracking in the outside wheel path as well. I estimated the length of it to be around 400 feet. I didn't attempt to measure it because I didn't have traffic control. You can see some more over there in the inside wheel path as well, leading on up to Station 5. I'm just going to continue with the tape. We have just passed the end of test section 120302, and we're moving up towards the we're in the transition zone right now, where we are going to be transitioning out the slurry seal and then picking up the crack seal, which is 120303. You can see the cross probably on up ahead. This is 100 feet downstream, and this is where we'll lose the slurry.